Good afternoon, my friends. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andre Lefevre, and I'm a citizen journalist. I like to mouth off on things political, things cultural, things interesting. My website is wildnews.us, wildnews.us. Today, I want to mouth off on a subject not that many people are willing to mouth off on. I'd like to have some pushback towards the transgender, the gay movement, MGTOW movement, and other cultural liberal movements, artificially manufactured with only one goal, to destroy one man, one woman American family. For hundreds of thousands of years, we humans lived in family groups. The most common has always been one man, one woman, and children. When man took responsibility for his woman and his children, provided for them, protected them, and did everything that they had a comfortable life. In turn, his wife, a woman, took care of the children, took care of the house, took care of the husband, and provided the nurturing and wonderful environment for her husband and for their children. Well, right now, all that is under assault. The first attack came from our elites, a small number of hereditary elites, trust fund kids, all men, who artificially created a philosophy called feminism. Many men mistakenly think that feminism was created for women to benefit women. No, feminism was created by a small number of men to control women as a block, to break up the one woman, one man family, create multitudes of single women who are dependent on them, on the power elites, on the government, so they can vote as a bloc and keep them in power. Another group, not quite as successful, but unfortunately growing in numbers, it's called MGTOW. It's an internet group. It's a male version of feminists. It's liberal soy boys from big cities who decided that women are bad because of the feminism, and the women somehow not worthy of loving, protecting, and supporting. Both of those organizations, again, feminists are a much larger group. By far, not the majority of women identify as feminism. It's a fairly small minority. But still, there's a great number of women and a great number of men whose goal in life is not to enter into marriage, not to enter in that very wonderful Western tradition, one man, one woman, and children. Actually, it's a tradition of all the humans. That's how we reproduce. That's how we exist. Even more alarming, we have a transgender movement. I'm not going to insult you with all the initials they use, but basically the idea is that when people are born, their gender is undefined, and every person can decide what gender they are. And there's more than two genders. Obviously, that flies in the face of science, but that gibberish, unfortunately, took hold. Again, it's an artificially created construct. It's created by the power elites with only one goal, to separate men from women, to destroy the idea, one man, one woman family, who love and protect themselves and their children and loyal to each other. The collectivists, the power elites, want everybody to be loyal to them. If you ever read The Brave New World, and I suggest you do, even though it's a dystopian science fiction novel, it describes in detail the collectivist future that our power elites want to create. In case you haven't read it, all the people are quote unquote decanted artificially from glass containers rather than being born. The word mother and father are cuss words, and so on. There's no family, there's promiscuity, there is pedophilia, etc., 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 etc. This is what we're watching in transgender movement. The transgender movement have created the idea that we can sexualize our children from a very young age. That they need to be taught about homosexuality, they need to be taught about gender fluidity, and other unscientific nonsense. The only people it benefits is those men who enjoy having sex with children, the pedophiles. It doesn't benefit anybody else. Also, I suspect we're going to have seriously disturbed individuals in the future in the liberal enclaves like San Francisco, Boston, Massachusetts, City of New York, and other liberal enclaves where that is being introduced into the school curriculum. Convincing a biological girl that she is a boy and convincing a biological boy that he is a girl is not going not to leave scars on a person. This is going to be a seriously disturbed individual. The so-called transgender people, those mutilated men or men who think they were born a woman, they're prone to all kinds of psychotic and psychological reactions. They commit suicide in far greater numbers than regular, normal people do. And they have other problems. Before the left elevated transgenderism into a political movement, it was considered to be a mental disease, which is rightfully so. It's called gender dysphoria. This is when a person who was born with a man thinks that he was born in the wrong body, and the same thing for a woman. Even though it appears this gender dysphoria craziness is more common to men. Not many people mouth off on that subject. Alex Jones is one of them. And I can't think right off the bat many more. But there are only a few prominent media people who are willing to talk about it. And the reason is because the retribution from the left is tremendous. Especially when it was pushed hard under Obama, people would lose jobs if they worked in academia or government or corporate environment. The political figures would lose their political support and so on. The reason I'm mouthing off on it is because I want to register my opposition to it. I don't know how to fight it in the county where I live in California, Riverside County, in the Beaumont School District where my kids went to. That was not taught. Anyways, this is something that we have to fight for a very simple reason. Because that is at the basis of our human existence. If we agree with anti-scientific, non-scientific description of what we are, we will cease to exist as humans, and I'm not exaggerating. Also, it shows us that our power elites are, for the better words, are insane. To believe that people can choose their own gender is insane. Thank you for tuning in. I promise you I'll be talking more on this subject. Please subscribe if you're on YouTube or BitChute, and God bless you. God bless you.